And it's time for the BAQA. The
Mm,
BAQA. Okay, the
mm.
BAQA. You say the BAQA. No way. Welcome to the Brown Ambition question and answer, where you have questions and we have answers ish, meaning we're not your mama. We're not your attorney. We're not your financial advisor. We're two smart brown girls who just have opinions. Take it with a grain of
Yeah.
salt.
Huge grain of salt. Also, I feel like we're maybe a little bit better of a source than your mother. Shout
Yeah.
out to
I
moms,
mean,
but
unless your mother is like, a financial advisor, then, my bad.
yeah, absolutely. All right, y'all. Cannot wait to take your questions. This week it's going to be some juicy, juicy career questions. So, I'm fired up. But before we jump into it, just a reminder about how you can get your question featured on Brown Ambition. Hit us up at Brown Ambition Podcast on IG. And you can also email us at brownambitionpodcast@gmail.com. Or one stop shop, go to brownambitionpodcast.com. Shoot us your questions, anything money and career related. We love to see it. Do let us know if you want to be anonymous. If you do, make it fun. Choose a pseudonym. You know, we don't want to be anonymous Annies, right? Be a little
Yes.
different. Give us a pseudonym.
Yes. Call yourself something funny and crazy. The duck lady. I don't know. Like, for example,
Duck
I'm
lady.
looking, Mandy, you see, I'm looking inside the doc that we're reading from, and it's someone is anonymous
Yeah.
goose. I love that.
Oh, really? Oh, dang. I should have chose her question or their question. Anonymous
No.
goose.
I'm saying like
Well,
that's what someone who's in the doc right now, who's like, on our team, like they're like,
oh,
because
yeah. Google is funny.
yes, it's like this is
Anonymous
anonymous
aardvark.
goose. Yes.
Well, let's jump on in. Got some really juicy questions today. First question comes from listener who wants to go by B. All right, Queen B. Queen Bee says, Mandy and Tiffany, I'm looking for some career advice. Hearing how astute you ladies are, well, thank you. When it comes to careers, here's a question for you. I recently taken up a position in February of this year. It was a step up both in salary and career prospects. It even comes with the benefit of working from home twice a week. Nice. However, after starting the job, it became clear that aspects for moving up in the company are slim to none. People have worked here for many years and have never been promoted. They're stuck in the same place and now just a few years from retirement, waiting for that faithful day. It's a retirement haven. Everyone is an elderly person, and my career is just starting. Not to mention, the company is having a hard time hiring others. This means we're understaffed, which places a lot of pressure and stress on us. It even turned my boss into a major jerk who sometimes shoots subliminal shots in her emails and in team meetings. It's annoying, and I already know I can't stay there anymore. However, I recently started to network and somehow got connected to a job opportunity that has turned into an offer. This opportunity is with a large company with a worldwide presence. The job allows me to work from home every day and has similar benefits. Not to mention, this opportunity is already a step up in career growth as I'm being hired into a managerial role. So here's my question. What should I do about my current job? How do I leave that job without cutting any connections off and seemingly quitting on them? I worked and waited a while before I got that job in February, and I'm wondering, what should I do? Okay, B. That story has a pretty happy ending. If
Girl.
we can take a step off, you solved your own damn
Can we
problem.
do let's do a little shoulder shimmy for B? Come on, Mandy. A little shoulder shimmy
Hey,
for
hey.
B. Okay.
Yes. Well, not only did you the networking piece, I love that because I'm always telling people like applying for jobs is not it. Applying for jobs is all cute, but the best job opportunities, especially when you're wanting to advance in your career, the juiciest jobs are not on Indeed and they're not on LinkedIn. And I know it's hard to hear that because it seems like the game is rigged. Well, a teeny tiny bit. There's so much competition now for the great candidates out there that jobs are
Mm.
waiting before they post. Hiring managers are and recruiters are waiting to post jobs because they want to do their own recruiting first. They don't want to post on Indeed and get 75,000, resumes from people who are not a good fit. They want to be
Mhm.
meticulous and intentional with their search. So the fact that you networked into a potentially new opportunity, like snaps for you, B. That's
Yes.
amazing. Now, I love how she said, how do I leave a job and seemingly quitting on them? Seemingly quit. No, you're just actually quitting. And it's okay.
Yes.
Quit is
Oh,
not
poor
a four-letter
baby.
word. People treat
Well,
quit like it's a four-letter word.
I'm like, it is a four-letter word, but I know what you mean. It's not a cuss.
It's not, a dirty word. The level of not even wanting to admit that you quit. Listen, storytelling, I feel like, is so important when it comes to our careers and explaining why we are leaving one opportunity for the next. And your story that you've told us is a valid reason to be looking for a new opportunity. And I would, as respectfully as you can, explain that to your boss, explain it to, in your exit interview, what it was about this position that did not quite meet the expectations that you had when you were hired. And you now have an opportunity that does. So why would you leave that opportunity on the table? Also, it seems like you have done some thinking around like longevity. Is there a chance that they will actually be able to meet this offer and give you opportunities that you can see clearly are not available to you? Probably not. So I'm hearing so many reasons for you to walk away. I just think you need someone to like give you permission. And Tiffany, you think we can give her permission? Can we do that?
Girl, do it. Well, question. I do have a question.
Magic
Mandra.
wand. I want my magic wand. I'm going to give her permission.
Go ahead, give permission.
Ding. All right, go.
So, question for you, Mandra. Do people still do the 2 weeks? Like, should she do that? Like, is that still a thing?
It's still a thing. What's funny is like there is nothing written in your employment contract that says you have to give 2 weeks. It's called at will employment, which means when you are willing to work, you will work there until you're no longer willing to work. And when they are willing to have you, they will be willing to have you until they're no longer willing to have you. But of course, 2 weeks notice is one way to quit without burning those bridges. And depending on the level that you're at in your company and whether you manage a team or how potentially irreplaceable or difficult to replace you. I think everyone's replaceable, honestly. But if it would be difficult for them to replace you, or you are overseeing a major project and you have a lot of responsibilities, the best thing to do to ease the blow is to offer as much time as you feel comfortable so that you can help with their transition. So 1,000% offer to help with the transition, whether it's 2 weeks or 4 weeks or 6 weeks, I've seen sometimes too. But make sure you're firm. I mean, if you're not willing, I will say this, a quick way to burn a bridge is to quit and then give them or turn in your notice. And then they'll be like, well, what if we can match it? Let me go work on this new offer for you. And then for you to turn down their competitive offer at that point, I think feelings and emotions and grudges start to form. I think you have to go into that conversation sometimes with as clear a mind as possible as to whether or not they even can compete. Is there anything they could offer you that would make you stay? And be clear on that before you walk in. That's how I would say, because you just don't want to drag anyone on. And you don't want to drag on the company that's giving you an offer either.
Yes. Oh, that's good. Kind of, think about that, because see, my scary self would be like, sure, make me an offer, even though I have no intentions of taking it, because I would feel scared to say no. There's nothing that would keep me. So that's actually really wise to be like, if you know for a fact that you really want to be at this other company, don't let these people go through the due diligence of doing all this work. Set the boundaries. I'm actually listening to this new book. Well, it's not new because this book has like been exploding. Have you heard this? What is it called? Let me see what my trusty Audible account says. Everything is written by a Black therapist, because of course she's amazing.
That's the title?
No. It's called Set Boundaries, Finding Peace. Have you heard of this book? It's by Nirdra Glover Tawwab. She's on Insta and has like 1 million followers, but she's this Black therapist who's amazing. And this book came out last year and it sold already hundreds of thousands of copies. She's going to sell over 1 million copies, I could tell. But it's just really helpful from a therapist perspective, obviously, about how to set boundaries and what it looks like if you're like, I don't have a boundaries issue. And she's like, sounds like you do, but it's really good. And like, I encourage you to get the Audible version just because I like listening. But yeah, so what it sounds like Mandy's saying is like, you want to set clear boundaries so that way, as the great philosopher Wendy Williams once said, straight talk leads to straight understanding. Like,
yes,
don't get that wishy-washy.
As an alternative.
That wishy-washy. Oh, maybe kind of. It's like, no. If you don't plan on staying, then letting them know. And that's really great advice. And then, moving on, sis, I'm really proud of you. You sound like a young woman who is on the move. So go ahead and be on the move. But to Mandy's point, try not to burn those bridges.
Yeah. And also focusing on a lesson, like, and carrying that lesson with you into your next opportunity. What you realized about this job, I would argue you might have been able to ascertain during the interview process if you asked the right questions. And sometimes we do kind of talk ourselves into opportunities. It pays more, just take it. But I'm sure that the fact that people at the company have been there for years, decades, that I don't think the fact that people are older should necessarily be a reason to be turned off by it, but the fact that they stay there for a long time, there's not much room for advancement, and that there may be a short staffing. I think you can definitely ask questions that would give you those types of answers in your interview. So I think it's a really good reminder of the importance of being particular about the types of questions you ask during the interview process, so that you really do know what you're getting yourself into, and you are gently not allowing them to put rose-colored glasses on or lipstick on a pig, whatever the expression is of your choice. And hopefully you've done the same for this new opportunity. It sounds awesome, and it's everything that they're not giving you, but what questions can you ask just so you don't end up being in the same position again?
What you learning, sis? You growing, you learning.
Well, good luck.
Congrats.
I've quit jobs 2 weeks after joining, so you're talking to a pro. Not a single bridge burned. Not a single one.